it became 100, it became 50. So he's doubling his money, he's tripling his money, like what's happening in Dubai. And not because Egypt is 7,000 years old and Dubai is smaller in the size, we should learn from anyone did the proper job. And really, Dubai did an excellent job. They don't have all the facilities that Egypt has. They don't have a Mediterranean, they don't have a Red Sea, they don't have the River Nile, they don't have the monuments that we have, they don't have the size of Egypt, but they have done it. So we should learn from them. We should really bring experts from Dubai. There's nothing wrong with this, and tell them, listen, how did you do this? And let's do it here. Let's have a sister city program between Dubai, for example, and Giza, or Dubai and Toshka. Let's have a virgin city that nobody have touched before, and make a master plan, invite the investor, give them proper roads, make a small cities like Italy, small cities like France, Paris, Milan, and we have to do this. We give an offer like this to the governor of South Sinai, that to give us 1,000 acre on the desert. This is, you asking me about non-governmental? Yes. We want to do this, and it will still belong to the government of South Sinai, and we'll have little Paris, little Milan, and the people will come and invest. They will have a small motel, and they will have a permanent showroom. So instead of the Egyptian traveling to Europe to purchase a product, they would have go to Sinai, and instead of just going to Sharm el-Sheikh to swim in the evening, where there is no really entertainment of the sea or the Red Sea, they will go and purchase their product. They will see the samples of the city. They will stay in a motel. They will eat the food of the country, and they will know. All these people, they will invest over here to build their own branches to show the whole world. It will be a permanent showroom for Europe, for example.
But if you allow me to express my opinion, you're talking, I guess, about the more inclined investors to invest in Egypt, those who are already willing to invest in Egypt, who know about the investment atmosphere.
We can always introduce Egypt to them. Who doesn't know, we introduce.
Shouldn't we do sort of a marketing stunt or a PR stunt by going there, informing them of the latest modifications to the investment climate, how attractive it is now, and inform them about the opportunities that are present on the ground?
Well, the teamwork is needed. So how can we inform them? We can inform them through the people who lives abroad, the Egyptian who lives abroad, number one, through our embassies, through our media, through our TV, through your programs. Really, we need, as I said, a teamwork of knowledge. We really need to introduce Egypt in, I was just talking yesterday to one of the leaders also of investment abroad, and we said, for example, Jamaica, they have a logo, say Jamaica, no problem. Hawaii, it has Aloha. We have to have a logo for Egypt. Not only صنع في مصر, made in Egypt. That's not good enough. We need to have a logo that you will come here and you will see really comfort. We need to have an office, and that's what they call in the States, called troubleshooter. What does a troubleshooter mean? If you have a problem with the license and you are coming to invest, I shouldn't give you any hard time. Because in Dubai, again, I keep repeating this because this is really the results of Dubai are appealing to be proper and better than proper. And they were asking the Sheikh of Dubai, the Prince of Dubai, aren't you worried about all this American, European investor? He said, if anyone at the airport, Dubai airport, taking his building with him, please call me anytime and I will suspend him or stop him. That means if people, when they come invest into your country, they become a partner with you. They're coming to invest for a long term. They're coming to invest, to team up with you. So we should really have some magnetic to have them here. Some troubleshooter office to tell them, okay, you have a problem with the accommodation, we'll help you. The problem with the license of the car will help you. We shouldn't really make things complicated for them, because if those people leave, we will all lose. If there is a tourist coming, and I'm talking about the quality of the tourist, he's helping everyone, including the guy who cleaning the street, because he pays taxes, and these taxes give him a suit, give him a salary, give him an education for his kids. We should team up. We should learn from this European summit, for example, about education. Why really we have lots of scientists coming from Europe and none coming from Egypt, international. We have good scientists, but the system is not helping them to go into the international world, to compete with them. So we need good labs, so we need the scientists to really have the proper focus on them, to have the proper education, the teamwork for them.
Allow me to go back once more to the summit. Now, the summit represents an important opportunity to launch a number of pioneer projects from which many countries will benefit. But now the problem lies in political differences, because what is primarily required is to work to reinstate peace in the Middle East before venturing and trying to establish new projects. Do you think this is true?
Tradition, the chicken or the egg. Everyone is sitting in his corner. I am the president, I'm the prime minister, I'm the minister. We should really focus on the people of this region. How can we help the people? We already, the minister or the prime minister or whoever, or the chairman, whoever got this, he already there for a period of time. So he should really focus, how can he help his people? He should really release some of his showing off or release some of his titles and really communicate with the other. Try to hear. I remember a beautiful story when I first arrived to the States 20 years ago. A lady friend of mine, she wanted to invite me for Japanese dinner, and I said no. She said, did you ever try Japanese food? I said no. She said, would you like to try Japanese food? I said no. She insists. She took me to Japanese food. And guess what? So far, for the past 20 years, my favorite food is Japanese. I was refusing something that I haven't tried. I'm not willing to try. I didn't even hear how good or bad, and just close it. I'm shutting me out. So it's about time to move this shut out, and we start look to each other from the heart to communicate with the brain, to communicate with the proper education, to communicate with the proper need of the region for the proper food and education and knowledge, and team up. And believe me, you will have a great summit and great world. But just shaking hands and taking pictures is not good enough. That's what I want to say.
But don't you think that bringing Israel into this sort of, into this summit, into this union, could create sort of a tension that could hamper any kind of developmental cooperation?
That's an Arabic word, having the action happen much better than waiting for it. Israel is part of the Middle East. We cannot say that there's no Israel. We cannot say we will destroy Israel. It has been there for 60 years. They have been standing against all the Arab worlds, and they're doing whatever. So it's about time, whatever Egypt have done 20 or 30 years ago, President Sadat, Allah yarhamu, he did a great deal with them to bring Sinai back for the Egyptian. And it's about time to face the facts. So whether we have to shake hands with them or to deal with them, but they are part of the region. So if Sarkozy invited them because they are part of the Mediterranean, association, or they're part of the Mediterranean location, so it's about time to deal with them, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Lebanon doesn't like Syria, for example, for some reason. Okay, I'm not getting into details of, but for some reason they have to be there. Syria was controlling Lebanon for a long period of time. They went out. They are not happy, but it did happen. So there is facts on life. Maybe it's not the most pleasant facts, but it is facts. We have to see the facts. Again, we cannot shut ourselves from being neighbor of Israel, and Israel exists. Maybe we should deal with them and understand that they are part of the region in order really to save ourselves the anger and the aggravation. And there's always a first time. So if Syria was there and Israel was there, it's about time for them to know that they both exist. They are both there, and none of them are leaving his country. Neither Syria or Israel, neither Lebanon or Israel. So they are there, and we have to communicate with them.
But some people say that this is too early. It's too early for this summit to take place right now. There are precursors that have to take place before that, which are solving the political differences between the Palestinians and the Israelis, solving the Palestinian cause, and also bridging the gaps between Arab countries.
Well, what happened 35 years ago when we have King Hassan of Morocco doing the peace agreement, or preparing the peace agreement between Sadat and Begin, Egypt and Israel, that really, it's 35, it's more than a quarter of a century. So it's about time to put both partners together. They have to talk, because every time we have a middleman, we have a middle communication, he adds word and he demand his opinion, or he put his words on it, and it doesn't go through. If I talk to you eye to eye, it's completely different than having a middleman in between or middle country in between. If I talk to you heart to heart, we will understand. And instead of sending messages, part of the message will go, addition to the message will go, less than the message will be delivered. So it's about time, never too early. It's about time. They have been 35 years, fighting for Golan. So it's about time to sit and discuss it. President to president, prime minister to prime minister, secretary of the states. I think Sarkozy did a great job to put them together. They don't have to shake hands. I don't know if they did or not finally, but but they have really to get together to know that they both exist. They both has to communicate. The best thing is direct communication. We cannot really keep going around, hiring a third country. For example, we're trying to make the peace between Hamas and Israel to suspend the shooting and all that stuff. We are not doing the best job, even though we are doing our hardest job, because they are not communicating together. And many people in the Arab countries, they were blaming Egypt to have peace with Israel. If Egypt did not have the peace with Israel, who would communicate with Hamas to put them down, to calm them down, to communicate with Israel? Who will communicate with Fatah to put them together with Israel? So Egypt is playing a very leading, important role in the region. We have to understand this. And if it wasn't for peace, it wasn't for Sadat and President Mubarak following what Sadat does, believe me, this region would have been completely ruined in a different way. So I want them to learn of what happened of the history. I want them to learn from President Sadat that he had a huge vision in advance, and he wanted to make the peace, and he wanted the Palestinians to sit together, the Syrian, and when he went to Knesset, he said, I'm not coming to make a single deal between Egypt and Israel. I'm coming to represent the Arab region to do a peace, and it's about time to have this completed after the 35 years. Better late than ever.
I wanted to venture more into this, but I have actually a more important question in mind concerning the Arab economic integration and the importance of having a common ideology before going into something like that.
Well,
don't we have to coordinate our stance and make sure that we know our goals and targets that we want to get out of something like this?
Absolutely. I was having dinner with General Secretary of Arab League, Amr Moussa, a couple of weeks ago, and he's a good friend of mine long time ago. I respect him very highly. I asked him very important request. And I'm having a meeting with him hopefully before the end of this month to discuss it in more details. That before he leaves office in 4 or 5 years from the Arab League, I need a plan of one Arab teamwork to make an Arab currency, just one Arab currency, doesn't matter what name, to really not to compete, to follow the European. Everybody's getting together. Airlines are getting together, European Union getting together, Far East countries getting together. United States is getting together with Mexico. You can imagine how rich United States, how poor is Mexico, but they're getting together because the geography forces them to get together. So I asked Amr Moussa 2 things. Number one, to have an Arab currency for all the Arab together, and to have an Arab trade market. If I have an investor coming from United States or Europe or the Far East, and he's going to Kuwait today and to Emirates tomorrow and to Libya the day after and to Tunis the day after and to Egypt, he needs a visa to every country. That's terrible. And we're saying that we're opening our doors. Why do we need all of this? We need just one visa for those Arab countries. We have one language, we have one religion or two, so we should open our doors for all of those people to welcome them and to have the team up. Now, it will not come from Amr Moussa, because Amr Moussa, again, doesn't have the magic stick. It needs to come from the leaders of those countries to bend the rules, their own rules a little bit. They have to understand that they are not living forever to lead those countries. They have to take care of their people, and to have to understand to open the borders and the barrier between those people, between Tunis and Morocco. There is this agreement between Algeria and Libya, between Libya and Egypt. We have really to have this world open up for import and export and knowledge and religion and praying and art and culture. Believe me, we will be the best of the world. We are sweating here. There's no air conditioning. I want the people to understand.
Well, we're going out
July,
anyway.
No air condition, 4 p.m. in the afternoon.
We're going out anyway because we just ran out of time.
Just
of course, we can go on
understand
and
why
on.
we're sweating.
Yeah,
not that bad.
But Dr. Shamash Mary, Chairman of the Egyptian American Business Association, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we hope to have.
We hope to have results, figures. We have open borders. And we wish all the best to the region and the Mediterranean.
Inshallah, and hopefully.
Thank you.
And for all of you watching us from home, that's it for this edition of News Hour. Please do join us again next Tuesday. Till then, it's goodbye.